Never quite sure when we're actually live, but I think we're probably live now.
Just live on my screen.
All right, great. Hi, everybody. We have Deva Vidya here today, my goddess, beautiful friend who I always love having on. We should start doing a regular show. That would be fun.
We should. I love that.
That would be fun. We're quite sure when we're actually live. But I think we're probably live now.
Just live on my screen.
Is that on your? Is that coming from you?
No.
We have Deva Vidya here today. All right, that's coming from
Where's
me.
it
I
coming
apologize,
from?
everybody. Okay, so Deva just made a really amazing light language album, which is super exciting. And she had her release party yesterday in Sedona, where she is now living. She's the mama of Sedona, right?
Feels that way, yes.
So
Mama Deva, that's what
you're
they call me.
doing. Oh, that's awesome. And you have quite a group of amazing people there, right?
Oh my God, absolutely. I had over 40 people show up yesterday for the release of the light language album. So it really, really touched my heart to have so many people come out and support this and to support me. I really feel so loved.
Yes, that's amazing. And you had somebody doing, what was that? So you did some sound, right? You did some sound healing and.
So Mark, he is the owner and the founder of Sedona Quantum Conscious Center here in Sedona, of course. And he has a machine called the Biocharger. And so the Biocharger has all these different programs that you can create, you can activate. And with light and sound, and I guess some other kind of technology that I really don't know about. It brings you into the quantum field. So it brings you into the alpha state, the theta state, and then it brings you into the quantum field. So he put on a meditation that would go with what I was doing afterwards. So he brought us into this beautiful, deep activation with his biocharger. And then directly after that, I started to bring in the light language through with my crystal bowls, with my shamanic rattles, and with my voice, with singing and speaking the light language. And it was very powerful. A lot of people couldn't drive home. They were like, "Oh my God, I'm so activated." So a lot of people had to really ground down. So it was a very, very powerful evening.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your album and what is contained within it?
Well, yes, I can. Actually, let me hold on a second. I'm just gonna give me 1 second.
Say hi, anybody that's here, if you want to say hi, or if you have any questions for Deva.
Hola.
We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, anyone and all of you who are showing up now or later. Lovely to see all of you and to be here with you. So the album that I created, it was something that was really something that Spirit was pushing me. As some of you know from past interviews with Kai, Kai was actually the one who Spirit sent to me to activate light language in me. And so I always feel like, that we have such an amazing connection in that way because of that. And since then, it's really become a tool that Spirit and the Divine Mother use through me to do my healing work. So to do my individual sessions when I'm doing my energetic healing, that the light language always comes through. And now when I do my shamanic journeys, because I pretty much do shamanic journeys every day of the week and with small groups, about 6 people, the light language comes through and really activates the shamanic journey and brings people into this experience. Excuse me.
You do those out in nature, right? Mostly? Yeah, so if anybody goes to Sedona, If
Yeah,
anybody goes to
doesn't.
Sedona, sorry.
Yes, go on.
I was going to say, if anyone goes to Sedona, Deva is available to take you on journeys.
Oh, yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful location that I have that I take people to. And I've created my own vortex there by bringing people there every day. So we've really created this, what you would say in yoga, a bhav, right? So there's like this energy that just keeps accumulating, accumulating, accumulating. And so it's like this our own little personal private vortex in this little area that, because I do shamanic journeys there every day. And so what I was saying before something got stuck in my throat is that now that I'm infusing the light language in the shamanic journey, people are having these experiences as if they were taking plant medicine. They're having these really profound experiences. Wow. So like some people have told me that, like, you know, they've had experiences like as if they were on ayahuasca. Wow. It really depends on how open the person is. You know, some people can just lay there and receive nothing. But of course, they're really receiving a lot from the light language anyway, because the light language is an energetic transmission of that energy. So, but some of these people who are coming are having these great activations, and it's amazing. And so Spirit has really encouraged me, well, not even encouraged me, really pushed me to do this light language album. You know, I've been going through my own transition this year. It's been a very challenging passage in my life. And the last thing I wanted to do was to create an album and, you know, have to go to a recording studio and create artwork and right. But it was really, you know, the things when Spirit gives me something to do, it's like, doesn't take no for an answer. It's like, nope, gotta do it now. Can't wait. And so so I went into the studio. I really sat in meditation and asked Spirit what Spirit wanted me to do with this album. What was it for? And the answer was to really bring forth these light codes that are transmitted through this light language, through the speaking the light language and also through singing the light language. I think the singing the light language is even more powerful. And so it was for healing and for activation. So that's why I wanted to run and get this list, because this is the list of the tracks that are on it. So I'll just read them to you. So the first one is for ascension activation. And so there's a lot of people, I mean, all of us right now are moving through the energy of ascension, right? And some of us are in different places than others. Some of us are on higher, you know, on a further along the path, and some of us are just starting the path. But wherever you are in the path, this ascension activation can really help to assist you in that. Because the ascension is really tricky, because it's constantly bringing in higher frequencies that we have to navigate. And when we're experiencing these higher frequencies, well, then it meets the lower frequencies that we're holding, and now we have to do something with them, right? And I always say that, you know, you have to transmute these energies, or they're going to keep coming up louder and louder and keep coming in your face until you've actually done something with them. So this ascension activation can really help people to move through those energies, to transmute them, and to come up into the higher frequencies, because that's what we're really doing when we're ascending, is our frequencies are rising, and we're going into the higher dimensions in these higher frequencies. So that's awesome. The first one.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's no doubt that we are all needing assistance right now in this process. And it can be very difficult at times. And that's a wonderful tool to have.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it's not me. I'm just the tool, the vehicle through which it comes. And so that's why I'm just really grateful and honored to be this vehicle. The next one is called the Lover and the Beloved. And this one, it can be used for two different things. It can be used for your connection to your great I am presence, your higher self, or to spirit source itself, and to really call in this divine relationship with you and your higher self, and you and your connection to spirit. And it also can call in a divine counterpart here on this earth, another being in another body coming together as that divine counterpart, that divine union. Not necessarily a twin flame, but this counterpart that we are destined to come together. It's really, it's a love call. So it's a love call for us from our soul. And so whatever relationship that we're looking for, whether it be a person in this physical plane or call to the spirit world for that spirit assistance, this is a call for love.
So were you, did you know before you went in the studio what each track was going to be, or did they just come forth and then you were told what they were for?
So I sat in meditation and contemplation for several weeks and really asking for the essence of what it was to come through. And a lot of them came through during my shamanic journeys with other people. Because I get a lot of downloads and a lot of messages, and you know, it's so amazing how who comes to me for these shamanic journeys, you know, and how
the people or the spirit guides? Both.
But yeah, well, I was talking about the people, but yeah, it's amazing. I received so many new spirit guides this year. It's hysterical. I'm like, oh, another one. Hello. Yeah. I'm like, who are you? Yes. So I have a whole new slew of spirit guides that are with me, and it's really beautiful. But I'm talking about the people who come to me and what they're bringing, what their energy is in their lives, and how it really shows me how much I've grown and how much I've learned in this past year, and of course throughout the years before. But this past year, I have learned a great deal, and I have transformed and transcended a lot. And so each person that comes to me really is reflecting something about my journey. And so when I come together with these people and then I go into the journey, I get to really see what's important for us to be focusing on right now in this time of these epic shifts, these epic transitions that we're going through, going into new earth. So yeah, so that's how I came about these tracks, and then when I went into the studio, I would just sit and I did a whole ceremony. I brought I brought my beautiful crystal bowls. I brought my altar with me. I don't know what the studio manager thinks of me.
Well, you're in Sedona, so it can't be that bad.
No. It was in Jerome, and he's from New York. But you know, he knows, he's dealt with me. I've done recordings there before, in my previous album, that was actually a singer-songwriter album that so he knows me. And so I set up my altar, I brought my crystal bowls in, I did a whole ceremony calling in spirit, bringing in spirit to embody me, bringing in the divine mother and the angelic and the cosmic realms to embody me, so that when I set with this intention, so if I set with the intention of bringing forth the ascension activation, I would just ask for that. And then I would just start playing my bowls, and then that activation would come forth. And so yeah, so I'll just go through I'll just tell you the titles of the other ones.
Yes.
And if you want to focus on one, you're welcome to.
Okay.
The next one's called Calling Forth the Light. So that when this is really important, because I do this for myself every day, you know, calling in the light is so important. We need so desperately to hold the light right now, because there's so much darkness coming up in the world. So that this is a time for us to really hold the light for ourselves, for our families, for the entire collective consciousness. And this can be really tricky, because sometimes we can go spiraling down into darkness, you know, into dark thoughts. And so listening to this track can really help us to come back into center of really coming back into that light.
That's great. What a great tool. So when people recognize, because often you don't recognize it till you're deep in it. And then you're like, oh God, how'd I get here? Now what am I going to do?
Exactly. Exactly. And, you know, for me, I mean, this is what I do, right? This is what I do for others every day. But when the dark thoughts come for me, you know, I can spiral out of control for hours, you know, and not find my way back. So we really do need each other. Like we are literally walking each other home, because sometimes we just need somebody to come in and say, hey, you know, this is the light. You know,
Right.
you are the light, right?
Right.
You are the light, and you have to remember that you are the light. And so that's what these are for. You know, this is what Spirit has really called me to do. So the next one is called ancestral healing, and this one I did receive through the shamanic journeys, is really seeing how important it is for us to heal the lineage of where we've come from, and all of the harsh treatment that our ancestors received or our ancestors inflicted. So,
Right.
so that's something important.
That's huge. I mean, that comes up so much in my sessions with people. That's so big. And not only our ancestors, but our own past lives as well.
Well, that's funny that you say that, because I often think of that we are our ancestors.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
And so a lot of that lineage that we're healing is really just us healing our own experience.
Yeah. Yep. That's a big one. I've found that that's huge, right? And during this COVID time, I found that that's been massive for me anyway, with people coming to me and for myself.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is the thing, is because as we ascend, we can't carry any of this dark energy, this dissension, this separation, anything that is keeping us separated and keeping us in a place of disunity. We need to heal all of it so that we can come into this unified space, because this is the energy of the ascension. And in order for us to go there, we need to come back together. And so there are so many things that have been created in the past that have created this discordant energy that now we're healing. And we are healing it for our ancestors as well as for ourselves. You know, they say like our DNA holds like 7 years past, right? Or something. I don't even know how long. Maybe it's more than that. But
7 generations.
7 generations. Yes, that's it. Okay. And so, yeah, so we're healing that. And then, you know, it came up yesterday. I stood in front of all the beautiful souls that came yesterday to this this celebration of this album. And I just meant to say thank you to everybody for coming out. And the Spirit just spoke through me, saying how we in Sedona are reconverging from places, from many past lives, from Atlantis and from ancient Egypt and Lemuria and other places, where we are now reconverging so that we can transcend those energies that were discordant in those times. And I'm not the only one that's getting this download. There are other people that live here also that are getting this download, that we are reconverging for this. And they say that, you know, Sedona is the navel of the world, and that from Sedona there are ley lines that radiate all out and go all over the globe, and that it's been prophesized that Sedona is the model for the new earth, and whatever happens here will be throughout the entire world. And so it's really important that we come together right now and heal this energy that's coming up. And there's a lot of discordant energy in the community, in many different relationships. It's showing up. And so I think that this is coming up because of the past life karmas, and it's playing out in this way, so that we have an opportunity to do it different this time.
And you have such a good support group to help you through it too, which is wonderful.
It really is. It really is. And it's amazing and beautiful to be with people that are in this consciousness, you know, because I had prayed for so long for a community like this, and I never knew that I'd find it until I came here. It really is. It's now I can't imagine living without it. You know, I really can't.
Yeah, it's amazing. I do remember when you were traveling around, kind of looking at different places, and then you found Sedona. It's like, this is it.
I know, and I'm waiting for you to come because you belong.
I know.
Yes.
Sedona.
Come on. I got extra room. Come and live with me. You and all the kids.
You and all the kids.
I know, right? In one room, that'd be fun. So the next one, the next track is for healing the heart, because a lot of us, I mean, I think every one of us have some kind of heartbreak and some kind of heart damage into our heart chakra that really needs to be held and nourished and loved. And so that's the next one. And the next one after that is inner child healing, which that's another thing that really comes up. So these sort of two are sort of related. And when I see my clients, whether they come to me for private energy healings or whether they're coming to me for these shamanic journeys, a lot of them are, I mean, I can tell you that 100% of them have some kind of inner child wound. And it's time for us to really to bring those children forth, bring them to the surface rather than letting them keep being in this buried memory, and bring them forward and really nourish them and love them and cherish them and integrate with them. And that's part of heart healing, right? So
it is. It is. And I'm so lucky because I have my kids. I was talking to somebody about this, but I treat my kids like I would have wanted to be treated. And that's how I heal my inner child. I didn't realize this till I was talking to somebody about it. And I was like, yeah, because every time my inner child needs a hug, I hug one of my kids.
Oh, I love that.
It's a great resource.
Beautiful. That is a great resource. I love that. Yeah, that's so beautiful. Maybe just having that child like to do that. Maybe it's why people have pets also, you know.
Pets would totally work. But I guess the point I was talking to, because the person did not have kids, was that you can do all that stuff. You can just throw out a big sheet and artwork on the floor and just paint and roll around and do whatever you need to do that you didn't get to do as a child, and hug yourself and eat sweets and I don't know, whatever is fun.
Absolutely. And
listen to your track at the same time.
Yeah, it's true. And
how long are these tracks? Are they like a meditate? How long is each track?
Oh, I think they're about like, they go from like, I think 5 to 10 minutes along. So they're not very long, and you can listen to them over and over again, as much as you want. And they're very activating. So you want to stay in the meditative state after you listen to it, and just like sit and like with the energy, to let the energy integrate. Like you don't want to just listen to it and then get up and start, you know, cooking dinner or watching TV or something like that.
And do you recommend that people are conscious of what the track is about when they're listening to it, or could you just literally like lay there and listen to all of them all the way through and just kind of absorb it without being really conscious of which one is which?
I think that that's a good question. I think that I'm trying to find the words of what I think. You know, sometimes I'm like, okay, so you should come back to Earth. All right. You remember you were with Kai a minute ago. Come back here because where'd you go? What do I want to say about this? I want to say that your soul knows, and your higher self knows what you need. And so if you start to feel uncomfortable and you don't want to sit with this energy, and you feel not uncomfortable, because uncomfortability is actually a good thing. That means that it's actually moving the energy. So sometimes it's really good to be uncomfortable when you're listening to these things. But if you're feeling like it's time, like your intuition says, okay, that's enough, I don't need to listen to any more, then you can just stop, or you can listen to all of them through. You know, that's it. It's not going to hurt. So I would really just listen to the intuition, to listen to how, you know, do you feel like you're done, or do you feel like you need another one, or do you feel like you need to listen to the same one again? You know, many years ago, my first experience with light language was from Judy Satori. And I don't know, do you know who Judy Satori is?
Only through you. I don't know that I've actually listened to her, but you've mentioned her to me several times.
Yeah, so she was somebody that I found back in 2011. And I was going through a very dark time at that time. And so listening to her recordings really, really helped me. You know, I would just put my earphones on, I'd lay down, and, you know, she had all kinds of different things also that she was offering. And it really helped me to move this energy. And so when spirit came to me to do this, it wasn't foreign to me. You know, this is a little bit more expanded when what she does is just speaking the light language. Mine is you know, with the crystal bowls, and with the shamanic rattles, and with my singing and my speaking layered together. So it's a little bit more of an experience, right?
Yeah,
but,
like
kind
of like when you do a journey with someone.
Yes, exactly. I do
someone?
another experience called what do I call it? Channeled angelic sonic transmission or something like that. I don't remember what I call it exactly. So that's what I do with this, with this thing I'm telling you about. That's in the album. So yeah, so I think that people can just really listen to their heart and listen to what they want, because you know what, you might not be healed with the Heal the Heart track. Maybe you're going to be healed by listening to another track, and that's going to speak more to what you need. So really going in and feeling into it, you know. So yeah, so I have 3 more tracks to tell you about. So another one is clear your energy field. So this one is actually with my shamanic rattles and the light language, and it comes in and so if you are feeling like, you know, that you're carrying some like negative energy, or you've been outside and you get other people's energy on you, or whatever it is, you can lay down and just listen to this track and feel yourself being bathed into this sonic vibration to clear your field.
That's awesome. And that would be a great resource if you work at an office or a job or something. You could literally just take a little time to clear yourself.
Yeah, you could just sit at your desk and like put your earbuds on and like in the midst of everything and just be clearing yourself. I mean, these aren't things that you would actually like be listening to, like, you know, like music. It's not like, yeah. So I meant
taking a break. Take during your lunch break or something.
Yeah. What I meant is like, you're probably not gonna like put it on the speakers so that everybody else can hear, because they'll be like, what the hell are you listening to? Yeah, it's very otherworldly, let's say that. And then the last 2 are twin flame. They're for twin flame energies. And so for those of you who don't know what twin flames are, they are. Do you want to speak to that? Why don't you speak to what a twin flame is? I've been doing a lot of talking.
No, I want you to. I did make a video once on soulmate twin flame, but no, you do it.
I love you. Okay. So the twin flame was talked about by Plato, and he learned about twin flames from his mentor. It talks about how and there's actually, this is a better way of explaining it. there's a Hindu story about the creation of the world. And the Hindu story goes like this, that Brahma, so there's a trinity in the Hindu pantheon. So the trinity is Brahma. Brahma is the creator. Of course, you know Kai, I'm telling the other people. So Brahma is the creator.
You can refresh my memory.
Vishnu is the sustainer or the maintainer of the universe, and Shiva, they say Shiva's the destroyer, but I love what a guru once told me, that you can't destroy energy, you can only transform it. So I like to think of Shiva as the transformer.
Shiva's my beloved.
Yes, I love him.
Go ahead.
And so Brahma, the creator of the world, was creating the world one day, and he created this perfect energy. It was so perfect. And he was like, oh, this is too perfect. It can't exist. It's too perfect. So he took his sword and he sliced it in half. And he took one half of the energy and threw it to one side of the universe, and the other half of the energy and threw it to the other side of the universe. And that was
mean.
I know. I know, we have to have a talk with Brahma. And so that was Shiva and Shakti. So
yes,
the divine counterparts, male and female energies that come together in one, you know. And so we took these energies, Brahma took these energies and separated them. And so they spent their entire, well, Shiva, being the man, you know, he went in the cave and meditated and transcended into, you know, his thoughts of loss from his counterpart. He distracted himself and went into meditation, right? And but the feminine energy kept reincarnating. She reincarnated, in every incarnation she searched for him. She incarnated as Sati, as Uma, as Parvati, as many different, I can't remember the other ones, but she incarnated into all of these beautiful women, beautiful goddess women. And she searched for her beloved, constantly yearning for him, until she became Parvati. And Parvati, she was determined she was going to get this counterpart back, and she did everything she could. She did every kind of austerity, meditation. She actually did all kinds. She tried to get gods and goddesses to come and wake him up from his meditation, and all kinds of stories. It's a really cool story, so look into it sometime, because I don't want to spend the whole video telling the story. But so she eventually, because of her devotion and because of her love for him, she went into deep devotional practice herself. And her energy became so amazingly strong that woke him up. And he's like, where is this energy? And he went looking for her, and they came back together. So this is the story of a twin flame. The twin flame are one soul that has been separated into two bodies. And so one usually is the divine masculine and the other one is the divine feminine, whether they be in men's bodies or female bodies, because it doesn't matter what body it is, it's just the energy that they're holding. And we come incarnated into these bodies, and before we ever meet each other, we have all kinds of karma from past lives. We have all kinds of trauma that we've experienced in this life. So when we come to meet each other, we become these mirrors for each other, because we are each other, right? And so we become mirrors showing the other what is discordant, what is misaligned, what is out of balance in that person, and then it shows the other person. And we trigger each other. And we trigger each other so that we can go into heal, because we need to go in to heal those energies that are within us, so that we can ascend and come back together as that one soul. But we can't come back together when we have these energies that are not in alignment with our true nature. And so that's what was happening when, you know, Shakti and Shiva were separated, right? They became so despairing and devastated from being separate from each other. So Shiva went into, you know, pretty much denial, right? He just went into his cave and tried to avoid his feelings and went into meditation to transcend those things rather than to try to heal that energy. And then, but Shakti kept incarnating until she figured out that she needed to go into this deep connection with the divine to be able to reconnect with her partner, right? Does that make sense? So my former partner, who I was with just recently, we separated. She used to say that, and it was a really beautiful thing, you know. So she would say, you know, God is here, and I'm here, and you're here. And as we get closer to God, we come closer and closer to each other, right? Mm-hmm. And so if we do the work to come closer to our devotion and our connection to God, that we come closer to each other until we finally meet here, right? And we can come together in that way. And that's what Shiva and Shakti were doing. You know, they were doing this dance. And he was, I mean, let me give him credit. He was doing his work because he was in that transcendent state. But the feminine, the Shakti, she knew what she was doing. I don't think he knew what he was doing. He didn't know that he was doing the work. She did. And but then because of her dedication to the work, they came together. And often that happens with this twin flame, is that the divine feminine is the one who is doing the work that to bring the two back together consciously, whereas the masculine may be doing it unconsciously. Yeah. So that's a little story about the twin flame. Does that make sense? Did I do a good job of
that was so beautiful. I'm really glad you just told that story.
I love that story. I think I learned that story in Ganesha Goes to Lunch. Have you ever read that book?
No.
Oh, it's a great book. And she retells Hindu stories in an amazing way. So I totally suggest that. I don't know who the author is, but you can just look up Ganesha Goes to Lunch. So anyway, so this track is about activating this energy of us coming, you know, bringing twin flame back into union, because it's very important in these times, because the twin flames are they are instrumental in bringing about this collective shift and bringing about the light coming onto the planet. And so we need to be activating this twin flame union. And a lot of twin flames are in separation right now because we have triggered each other so much. And we have activated that real deep darkness that's within us.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us are experiencing this now. And but this is a beautiful thing. This is a gift because it's a catalyst for us to do the work, because it becomes so painful to be separated from your twin. It's so painful that it drives you into doing the work that may have taken a lifetime, may have taken several lifetimes to do. You do in this like a few months or, you know, or a few years.
No, you're correct. Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely correct, because as you know, I've been waiting for my beloved for quite some time. But it just makes me go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Just like, you know, healing every single aspect of myself so that it allows that union to take place, because there are a lot of other unions that present themselves on the journey and you're like, nah, can't, you know, you got to do more work, got to till you get to the real one, because you know when it's that deep, it's that real, it's that pure, it's that free. There's a freedom in that.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it seems horrific when you're in it, right? Because it's so painful, right? To be separated from the other part of you, the other half of you, you know, especially when for you haven't met your beloved yet in this lifetime. So that's like this deep longing, right? This constant longing for the other part of you to come into physical union. And when you all have been in physical union, like I have been, it feels like somebody actually tore a part of your body off of you. And it's horrible.
Yeah.
So that pain, that devastation, it really catalyzes it drives you into the depths, because you can't not do the work, because if you did, it's just too painful, it's too much. So in order to alleviate the pain, you need to do the work. You need to go in and heal your inner child. You need to go in and heal that heart. You need to go in and start facing the shadow. And you need to go in and see, you know, your behavior that is not loving, that it's not kind, that's not compassionate, that's out of alignment with your true nature. So to really dive deep. And that's why I can tell you that in this past year, this year 2021, I have been doing very deep work, and I really can see how I have matured in so many ways, especially spiritually, but in so many ways beyond what I ever knew possible. I really didn't even know myself. Like when I look back at myself just last year, I can see that, you know, I can see, you know, the immaturity and the fear and the insecurity that I had. And I can really see how that insecurity and fear that I had was driving me to sabotage my relationship and my life. And so it is a great gift. You know, it's a very great gift.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I love that your tracks support that, because, oh my God, I'll have things come up now that I go, what the hell was I thinking trying to track my beloved 3 years ago? Obviously, with this here, there's no way I could be in a beautiful union. Like, but there are things that are so obvious when they come up that you just didn't even see before. They weren't even present.
It's true. And when
amazing.
when we come together in that twin flame union, before we've done this healing, it can become it's very triggering. And and there's a lot of twin flames come in and out of their life because it's so painful to be without each other, and then they trigger each other, they leave, and then they come back and they trigger each other and they leave, and they so this can be good, you know, because it keeps triggering that healing. But if we were, you know, really serious about doing this healing and really diving deep, the next time we come back together, we can really stand, you know, in this place. And when we mirror each other now, we're mirroring only light and only love.
Yeah.
And we're mirroring like this true nature of who we are, rather than all of the pain body that existed from all of our past trauma.
Yeah.
And so it's really about, you know, healing ourselves and about loving ourselves in this way. And so all the tracks before this tracks of the twin flame, and maybe that's why Spirit maybe put them last. I didn't even think about that, but now that I see it, maybe that's why Spirit had me put them last, is because all the other ones are doing the work to bring you into this union, and you can't have the union like successfully until you've done this work. That's pretty interesting, right? Yeah.
No, I love that. So there's two twin flame tracks. Are they both, or do they have different kind of focuses? Like one's about bringing stuff up, or are they both just about kind of attracting that energy? Or
so the first one is called Twin Flame Union Activation. And I think that the activation is for us to I never really asked Spirit what that meant. Let me just sit with it for a second. Hold on. It's activating us to go to heal, so that we can come into union. Okay, so that's what this track is for. The second track for the twin flames is called Twin Flames Working Together in the Ethers. And this came to me when I was in a shamanic journey with my clients, when I realized that while I was doing this work for them, because, you know, like I tell you, I do a lot of like the light language work and healing and doing a lot of energetic work while we're in this journey. So I realized that I wasn't alone, and that my twin flame was actually with me, and that etherically, as a soul, as a spirit, my twin flame was with me in this journey and was doing this work with me. And it was so beautiful. And I knew that even though that person might not consciously know as a human being that they were doing this work with me, that we were doing this work in the ethers. And I could hear the light language that I was singing, and it was so beautiful. And because I mean, I can say that because it's not me, right? I'm just like the vessel through which
you can say it even if it is you.
Thank you, love. Thanks for giving me that permission. And so, then I just knew that, you know, even though our bodies are separate, you know, and that we are not in communication with each other in any way, that our souls are still together in the ethers, and our souls are still doing this work. And you know, no matter what our egos here on earth are playing out, our souls are still together. That's why sometimes twin flame is called twin souls. And yeah, so this is what this is about. This is if you feel like that you have like this divine mission with your twin flame, to put this track on and to really connect with your twin flame in the ethers, so that you can both be doing this work for each other and for the collective. Like for me, I know that the work that I do is for the collective. You know, I do the work that I do for myself, my healing for myself. I'm not just doing it for myself, I'm doing it for the entire collective consciousness. And so when I come into doing this work with my twin flame, I'm doing this for the entire collective.
Yeah.
And, so it's really beautiful. It's gorgeous. And it really helps me to remember that this body that I'm in is just a temporary vessel, a temporary vehicle. You know, my mentor, I'm going to give her a shout out because I really love her. Her name is Essence Katharas, and she's a multidimensional guide who really had taught me how to understand how to navigate the multidimensional realms. And she told me recently, when I had a conversation with her, she told me that this is just like literally just a minute in our life as a soul. You know, this time on earth is literally just a minute. It's like a blink of an eye. And so even though it feels like so big to us right now, this is not who we are in these bodies. And these bodies are, they have this pain body that is driving the show. And until we actually heal this pain body, it's going to continue to sabotage us and bring us into, you know, these discordant and experiences with other people. Yeah. And that's not what we're here for. You know, we're here to really heal that now, especially in these times. We're here to heal that because Gaia, Earth, she's ascending. And if we live on Earth, we have to ascend with her. We
have to go with her.
Yeah. We can't be living in those old dimensions while she's, you know, she's in the 5th, 6th, 7th dimension, and we're still like living in that 3D reality. Nope, that doesn't happen. You know,
not gonna work.
No, it doesn't work. So we have to go with her.
We have some people on with us who I'd like to say hi to. Let's see. We have Henry. Hi, Henry. Jason. Jason said it's a huge thing not being able to talk with anyone about this stuff. I've scared some family members talking about experiences and learned quickly to be careful when opening up. It's true. I think he wrote that when we were talking about your community in Sedona. Robin is here. Hi, Robin.
Robin, you mean J Ma?
Yeah.
No way. Hi.
We've done Shaktipat at Robin's house, and David, remember that one Shaktipat?
Yeah. I remember, sure.
And John, hi John. John gave me the sweetest compliment the other day. I just want to tell you, John, that melted my heart. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. Where would one get your album? Because I want a copy.
Let's see. So maybe you can put the link up in later on.
Yes.
Can you see this?
Give me a minute here. Let's see if I can see that. SoundCloud, the SoundCloud, or Deva Vidya Bandcamp?
Both of them. So SoundCloud is you can download for free.
Wait. Hold on. Way. Okay, I got that.
And then the other one is the Bandcamp. So SoundCloud, you can download it for free. Bandcamp, you can listen to it for free, or you can buy it if you'd like to support me.
Well, you're not. Yeah, I was gonna say you're not selling it. So you're not on Amazon.
So no. So I decided that the universe and spirit I am fully supported, and so I really want, I want everyone to have these tools, and I don't want money to be an obstacle. So if people feel to support me, they can go to Bandcamp and buy it for $8.88, or I think that on SoundCloud you can actually donate. I think you can donate. But if you don't have the money to support me in that way, that's totally cool, because I want you to have this tool. So it's not about, creating some kind of thing that's going to make me rich. I really want this to get, I really feel like this work that I'm doing with this light language, I feel very, very important that it gets to as many people as possible. And if you do sign up, if you just start following me on Bandcamp and SoundCloud, then you'll get the notification when I upload more of tracks like this as well, because I do have other tracks that I'm going to be doing and uploading. And you can also follow me on my website, wayofthesacred.com. It's wayofthesacred.com. And I am going to be doing some light language videos I'm going to be uploading to YouTube. So from that wayofthesacred.com, you can go to my YouTube link and subscribe and hit the notification bell to get my my uploads of that.
What is your YouTube name?
I think it's youtube.com/wayofthesacred. I'm pretty sure.
Well, if someone put in Way of the Sacred, they would find it probably.
So yeah, YouTube's funny that way. But if you do Way of the Sacred, it might come up. You have to do Way of the Sacred, the whole phrase. But I think it's youtube.com /Way of the Sacred. And there's music that I've written there. There's professionally recorded music that I've written and recorded with another person as Way of the Sacred. And there's some official videos there. There's also interviews that I've done with people, including you. And there's also some teachings that I've recorded, like breath work and how to clear your energy fields and things like this. And I'm going to be doing a lot more. I'm going to be doing some videos about how to navigate the dark night of the soul, how to heal the inner child, conscious uncoupling. So many things are coming to me that I need to bring forth, but I had to do this first. This spirit told me that this had to come first. So once I get this fully out into the world, then I'm going to start bringing forth more videos on YouTube. So yes, and I also write blogs and stuff too. So you'll, if you get subscribed to my Way the Sacred, you'll see my blogs that I upload also. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yes, it's perfect, and I love it. And I'm so happy to see you in your place in Sedona. And
Yeah.
if you ever feel like joining my other show, which I just started, which is Money and Mysticism, would be interesting, because we're just talking about the actual kind of spirituality of abundance and allowing that to come into your life so that you can be supported, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And since you're getting good at doing that.
I am getting good at doing that. I used to have I'll just say this for now, and then we can talk more about it when we do that show. But I used to have a lot of fear around money, because I grew up in an environment that we didn't have money, and so it was, I think, embedded in me to always be fearful around money, and to hold on to it. And that was one of the, the things that sabotaged my relationship, because, it really, sorry, there we go. So yes, I think that I had a lot of fear around money. So I was a little bit, miserly, and this energy of like holding on to something and of being afraid of letting it flow, actually it actually stops you from receiving, right? Because like my teacher a long time ago, my teacher who I studied yoga with, another shout out, beautiful man named Katul Arnold. I love him very dearly. I'm thankful for all he's taught me. And he used to say, closed hand, no, open hand, we open to receive, and a crushed hand, we actually crush the energy and suffocate it. I don't remember his exact words. His words were more poetic than I'm saying. But when we have an open hand, we're constantly we release that energy, and it goes out into the universe. But we have all this energy here. We have this vessel that we can continue to receive. But when we're holding it like this is mine, this is my money, and I can't spend it, I got to save it. Well, then you don't have any room to bring anything else in.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's really interesting, because I didn't, you would think that like when my relationship ended and I was now self-reliant completely, not having, I had to like pay for everything, all the bills on my own, and I had a lot more expenses on my own. It's a long story, but anyway, you would think that I'd go into more fear, but rather I was just like, I just saw the abundance, and it just opened my eyes up, and I was like, I'm fine, I'm doing great, and the universe is supporting me, and it really, it's just now a constant flow. I don't even have to think about it. It's just a beautiful thing. I mean, of course I'm working, but I'm working and doing things that I love.
Yeah, you're doing your work, which you would be doing anyway, whether you're getting paid for it or not.
And I think that's another thing too, is that I valued myself, like, when I lived on the East Coast, I was always afraid to ask people. They'd be like, well, how much do you charge? I'd be like, $50.
Well, if you can afford it.
No, is it okay? Do you think, can you do that? If you can't do that, I'll do it for 25. Right. Now I'm like, if people ask me how much I charge, I'm like, well, I charge $222. And that's it. And that's how much I'm worth. I mean, I'm actually probably worth more than that, but I like that number, because that's the number of the priestess. And so I stick with that number, 222, one of my favorite numbers. And so, you know, and that's how much I charge for a private session, and that's it, you know, and it's well worth it because people have like life-changing, transformative experiences from that 1 hour and a half, 2 hours that they're with me. And so it's probably worth a hell of a lot more than 222. And, you know, and so I stand in that value of who I am at the same time, you know?
Yep, absolutely. I love it. I would love to have this conversation more on the show if you want to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What?
I said, let's do it.
Let's do it. Does anyone have another question? Any questions for Deva? Let's see. Robin said, love you too. We love you too, Robin. It's been a while since I've seen you.
I remember when Robin had her first Shakti pot at the Shakti Fest when we were in the tent. Remember? I don't know if you remember because you just met Robin then, so you might not remember her.
Oh, at Om Fest.
Oh, that was at Om Fest. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, Om Fest. Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
I love that. It was so
I think
much
I do
fun.
remember. I think I do remember. Yeah. I remember giving Shakti pot there. That was a crazy weekend for me. Everything.
I know.
I know.
I often think about running a festival, and then they're like, "What the hell am I thinking?" Like, what the?
Oh my goodness!
I know.
Because you did one right after I did Om Fest.
I did Light Fest, right? That's right. Mm-hmm.
It was our festival year. Yeah, no, it was beautiful, and I'm glad I did it. But yeah, it's intense. It was intense. John said, I'm going to follow you on YouTube also. Would like to learn more about light language.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Robin said, it has been a while, but you're always in my heart. Yes, Om Fest. Yes, Robin, you're always in my heart too.
Aww.
Aww. So John, it's interesting because I don't know if you heard Deva's story, but when she started speaking light language, we were doing a big Shakti pot at her house with a group of women that she had together. How many women? 20?
Like 30. It was like 30 women that day, yeah.
But Deva had been to quite a few Shakti pots, and I had been speaking this, what I called Shakti language, light language, whatever it is, for quite a few years. Since my Kundalini was awakened. And then this particular day, when I got to Deva, like the 30th person, hours into this. Anyway.
It was like, oh, this is intense.
She always kind of joined me energetically in the Shakti pots. But yeah, she just started speaking with me at the same time, saying the exact same thing, which the Shakti likes to do. It's a funny thing she likes to do. And then Deva's has evolved into, well, what would you say it's evolved into?
Well, now I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you channel the Shakti language or the light language, it's the Divine Mother Innocence coming through you, yes?
It's just the source energy. It's just God. I mean, most of the time, honestly, lately, the energy says, I am God, Shiva. I am God, Shiva. I am God, Shiva. And sometimes Kali comes through. Sometimes it's Kali, but it's usually that I am God, Shiva is what we've been saying quite a bit lately. So I'm just like, okay.
Nice. I love it.
Angels.
So Kali does come through for me a lot. Like I'm like, oh, it's not here. Kali Ma. I'm like, oh, okay, I know that. I know those words. But it shifted for me when my partner at the time and I had these beautiful bowls, these crystal bowls that were alchemy bowls. They were infused with gold and platinum and different gemstones, and they were very high quality crystal. And when I would play them, they literally like wanted to sing for me. And I was a very shy singer at the time, you know. I mean, I wasn't really fully in my power of singing. And when I sang, it was very like I wasn't one of those diva singers, right? That like, you know, could like go off and like, you know. But now with the bowls, they wanted me to like burst out, you know, and And at first I just started toning with them. Like I would just start to like go, ooh, or I would like, you know, make sounds with them. But then after a while, they started to sing through me. And that was, I think, like my training. Like those bowls are no longer in my life. They are still with my former partner. And I have bowls that are just pure crystal bowls. And but because I think that those bowls were in my life for that period of time, because they were training me to channel these very high vibrational frequencies of the gold, of the gemstones, and of this cosmic realms, you know, because I mean, everything is God, right? Everything is God.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, it's just kind of like whatever, however it comes through in the moment.
Yeah, and there's different aspects of God, I think, that we need at different times, right? And so these bowls really taught me, well, they didn't teach me, they opened up a channel for me to bring forth this light language through song. So that's how it is transformed. And I think that when I speak the light language and I sing the light language simultaneously in these activations on this album, it is so powerful, because it's the two energies together, because it's very different energies, the speaking and the singing. And I hope that you'll listen to it so you can tell me what you think and what you
I can't
what
wait
you
to hear it.
from that.
Yeah. Yay. All right. Is there anything else you would like to talk about?
Well, I just want to say that I love you, and everyone who's watching is so blessed and so gifted to have such an amazing woman that you are following. And I just want to say that I honor you and I love you deeply as my sister, as my fellow priestess. And thank you so much for doing this work. You know, you are such a blessing to this earth.
Thank you, Deva. I
honor you.
I feel the same way about you. And I just want to say to people like Jason who feel that you're alone, you know, I don't have anybody physically around me where I live, but I do have these, like with Deva, this amazing, beautiful connection that's always there. And if you kind of just open your heart to find those connections, you'll find them, even if they're not in your physical vicinity. Deva and I have a beautiful connection, whether we're actually calling each other and speaking or we're just energetically connected. The support is always here there. It's like this sisterhood and Robin, and just, you know, there's this beautiful sisterhood of so many of us that have come together, and that energy is always there. That support is always there. That love is always there. Like I know Deva's love is always there for me, and my love is always there for Deva. So even if we can't live in Sedona at the moment with all this beauty, we can still have that beautiful love and support.
Yes, yes.
So important.
Although I am waiting for your physical body to come to Sedona.
I know it's happening soon.
Yes. I want to say to Jason too that you know, there's a lot of online communities that you can be, you know, with, like that can really support you. I know that I belong to many Facebook groups. I don't interact with a lot of them because I'm very busy in my physical life, but for those of you who don't have this community, you can be part of this kind of online community that you can interact with, you know, and really have conversations in this way with those people, you know.
Absolutely.
You're welcome to follow me on Facebook if you want. It's Deva Vidya on Facebook, and so you can find me, and we can have conversations with my community there as well.
Yep. Yes, it's out there. If you just open up your heart and allow it, it will come. The connections will come. And Deva has a beautiful community, so.
Yes, and if you want to come to Sedona, I'm actually having a retreat. Let me think. I think I have 2 spaces left in this retreat. So if anyone wants to come to Sedona and experience Sedona, we have 2 beds left. It's October 22nd to the 25th. And I'm doing it with my beautiful priestess sister, Raquel Spring, who is a professional astrologist. She's a multidimensional astrologist. And we are going to be talking about the new divine feminine codes that are going to be activated in 2022 by Venus and several, I think it's 4 or 5 asteroids that represent goddesses. And
Wow.
they're bringing these new, they're bringing in these new divine feminine codes that so Raquel will be speaking about and activating these divine feminine codes from the planets, and I'll be bringing in shamanic experiences to activate that within ourselves. So if anyone does want to experience Sedona, go to waytothesacred.com and then go to the area where it says events and retreats, or you can go to waytothesacred.com/Venus Rising, because that's the name of the retreat, Venus Rising. And I'd love to have you with us. This is going to be an amazing, amazing experience for so many of us.
That sounds amazing. Yeah.
I know. Come to the retreat, Kai.
See, it's happening, but I'm supposed to be taking Tico, my son, to LA on October 16th for his girlfriend's bar mitzvah.
Oh, well, LA is only 7 hours from me.
I know it's not far, but it's probably a short trip. But I have to get him there for her bar mitzvah. I mean, like, if I don't get him there that would be bad if they stay together their whole life and I couldn't get him there for her bar mitzvah. So that's happening. And then I'm going to a retreat October, November, but then maybe Sedona will be the next trip.
Yes. Well, I'll be having another, you're welcome to come stay with me in my home at any time. But I will be having other retreats. I'm probably going to do one in December. I'm thinking December or January, because it's a slow season here. So my work will slow down a little bit. So I'll have more room to bring people in to spend some time with them on a fuller span of time. So, if anyone's watching, follow me and know, because, this is, if you don't have a community, this is how we build community. This is how I started building my community, was going to retreats and going to events that were happening, that were creating these experiences. And then I would meet other people on these experiences, and then just connecting with them. Like I met you at Eval Fest.
Yes.
If it wasn't for Eval Fest, we would have never known each other. And
we met a lot of people, a whole group at that Evolve Fest. Remember that? Yeah.
That year was the best ever. That was so much freaking fun.
I think Robin was there too, actually. Yeah.
Was Robin there that year?
Yeah, she played. I remember her playing.
Was she?
Didn't you, Robin? I think she played with her band. Yeah, she did.
The following year, I think.
Oh, maybe it was
that year.
You might be right.
No, you're right. You're right. That's the reason why I went to Eval Fest, because my friend Shakti Devi was playing with Robin, and Shakti Devi wanted me to come and support her. And so I called up the producer of Eval Fest, and I was like, hey, you got something for me to do? So I went up doing a shamanic. It was so cool. I did something so cool that year. It was a shamanic shape-shifting yoga workshop. It was so fun.
Okay.
Yes, that's how I met you. Oh, yeah, that year. That's right. That was such a cool year.
I remember. I remember the moment I met you.
You do?
Yeah, Perry was doing something with his tarot cards, and he was holding up his wand, and he was holding Lotus, and you walked up.
Yeah, and that's why I met Lotus.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. It touches my heart that you remember when you met me.
I do. I remember the very moment.
And then we were on stage all together singing with Win Paris.
Yeah, we were on stage. Yes, I saw that photo recently.
You did?
Yeah. Win Paris, who passed away last year. So yeah, a lot of memories.
Yes.
And I've been kind of shortly mentioning with Shakti Devi about having her on. Maybe we'll do a thing with all 3 of us if you want to.
Oh my God, yes.
Because I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we could just have a thing.
It'll be a sister tea time. Goddess tea time chat.
I love it. Okay. Very good.
All right.
Very good. Very good. I love you.
I love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for whoever joined us today. Thank you so much for coming in and being part of this conversation. Please check out the light language. It is my gift to you. It's my gift to humanity for these times. So I really hope that you do receive them. Thank you.
And I have all of her links in the chat, but I will post them for anyone who watches later. I'll post them in the description below the video. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye, Deva. I love you, Gemma. I'll talk to you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.